Hello everybody, welcome to our Medieval Dynasty Survival Guide. We are talking about painting houses today as part of the kind of new paint update from the developers. They brought in a number of other fun little things as well, but we're just talking about painting today and how to go about doing that if you want to start decorating the exterior of your homes. So it does require a few steps, the first being to obviously make some dyes. It is the dye that you make here in the Herbalist Hut that allows you to basically paint the houses. So if we go to the hut, we can see we have our dye section right here, and there's a number of dyes that we can make. We have yellow dye, which requires 10 onions. I believe all of us is going to need like clay bowls, except for this one, which the decolorizer, which requires a clay vase. And basically the idea with that is that, that removes paint. So if you don't want the paint on it anymore, just you make one of those guys. But everybody else is going to need a clay bowl. And besides that, blue dye is going to need 50 berries. Red dye will require 10 clay. Green dye, we're looking at blue dye and yellow dye mixed together. Orange dye will be yellow dye and red dye mixed together. Violet dye, you're going to need 2 blue dye and 2 red dye to make that. And then finally, black dye, you will need 40 spruce bark, which you can get from spruce trees. You just got to, cut down some spruce trees. I think you can also buy it from, I want to say it's the Herbalists. I think they sell it as well. Besides that, you'll also need 3 iron ore, which is kind of interesting, but, it is what it is. So those are the different dyes. You just got to make them, make a number of them. It does require quite a bit of dye to paint like a full house. So, make sure you come prepared for that. Definitely make quite a few. I do not have the ingredients myself, so we're just going to keep on keeping on here. But basically, once you have your dye, the next step is to make sure that whatever building you want to paint is insulated. And you can do that very easily by getting like your little wooden hammer and adding the add insulation option. You can see we have like all this blue comes up, which shows you the things that the walls that can be insulated. Now, depending on the material of the wall, it will require like a different kind of material basically to insulate it. So over here, you'll see this is technically insulated right here, and it's wood. So in order to insulate wooden walls, you will need daub. And then in order to insulate stone walls, you will need limestone. So basically just add the insulation to the walls, and that will allow you to then paint them. So if we kind of like come back up here, bring our hammer out, we have this decorate option. So we can click that. And then we notice we have, a few options here. We're looking at, obviously, color and pattern. Now, color is just going to be just like your standard, dye. You can kind of see what it looks like as we're switching between the different options here. So you would take your dye, right, and then you would just apply it to the wall. And I just have yellow on here for right now, just because I was playing around with it earlier. But you can see, obviously, like I said, it does require a number of dyes. 5 it looks like, to paint the wall. So that is how you do that. And then if you want to have a pattern instead, just come to the pattern. And the pattern is definitely like a little bit more, advanced. You can kind of see right there what they look like. You have a number of like, flowers and some animals and such like that. And obviously the more creative it is, the more dyes you're going to need. So for example, for this animal pattern, you can see you need basically one of almost every single dye: yellow, blue, red, green, and orange. So you make sure that you have all that dye on you, and then you just click it and it will apply to it. And that is basically how you paint. You just need dyes, you need to insulate the walls, and have your construction hammer ready so that you can just decorate, choose which one you want to do, whether a color or pattern, and then boom, there you go. It's all good. So that is the process there of painting. Have fun. I can't wait to see what you guys are doing with your houses because, customization, it's a fun time. But if you have questions, do let me know in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, keep surviving and keep thriving.